Doctor, arrived when ready. Enjoy your stay, Commander. Your comfort is our top priority.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Landing coupler disengaged. You are clear for departure.
Shift drive charging.
to landing pad 10. Acknowledged, Commander. Clear for assisted dock.
Scan detected.
Operation complete. You may disembark when ready. Welcome to the station, Commander.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Incoming message. Incoming message. Incoming mission critical message. Incoming mission critical message.
Docking clamps retracted. You are go for departure.
Landing gear retracted.
Be aware of oncoming traffic in the access corridor. Observe minimum clearance distance.
Frameshift drive charging.
Clear of the exclusion zone. You're clear to resume own navigation.
System scan complete.
enter the control room.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
We extend a warm welcome to new arrivals at this facility and wish a safe journey.
Kumo crew
to
starports open for business. Pilots Federation alert. 5 new starports constructed by Archon Delane's recent campaign have now become fully operational. The Orbis stations, which are run by the Kumo Council faction, are listed below. Kumo City in the Pegasi Sector PNTC 314 system, Hawa region. California Freeport in the HIP 18390 system, California Nebula.
This is a
Crimson
flight
Exchange
regulation
in the HIP 10792 system, Sothis region.
during
Fort Xeno in the HIP 62154 system, Coalsack Nebula. Delane Terminus in the Mule Crew PCKC 991 system, Colonia region. The starports will provide a full range of services, although their low populations bring concerns that they may be understaffed. Additionally, security agencies in nearby systems expressed fears that since they are operated by the Kumo Crew Syndicate, they are likely to harbor black markets and promote illegal activity. Arch Corsair K. Valentine, a senior member of the Kumo Council, addressed this when she told the Pegasi Sentinel. These starports exist solely to encourage trade, which is the lifeblood of our galaxy. Sometimes a little lifeblood can get spilled here and there, so I'm sure our new neighbors will welcome our protection, yes. Other factions have appeared in the 5 systems, including subsidiaries of Sirius Corporation. Several news feeds have speculated about an ambiguous connection between the Syndicate and the
Return to confirm. You are clear to
how
leave.
the Kumo crew managed to extend so far beyond its territory. Federal leaders launch rival data requests. Pilots Federation alert. Data deliveries are required by competing initiatives to increase or decrease civilian surveillance in the Federation. President Zachary Hudson has asked the public to contribute to making the proactive detection of Euro more effective. The PDP requires access to lesser-known comms channels where terrorists and criminals lurk. Supplying it with data from multiple sources will allow us to root out more potential threats. To counter this campaign, Shadow President Felicia Winter aimed to protect personal communications from being intercepted. My duty is to help citizens preserve their constitutional right to privacy. If enough data can be gathered for baseline testing, we will distribute legal technology and techniques to secure against government intrusion. Both campaigns require deliveries of the following data types: anomalous bulk scan data, exceptional scrambled emission data, specialized legacy firmware, and unusual encrypted files. To support President Hudson, dock in the
Frameshift drive charging.
system. To support Shadow President Winters, pilots should deliver data to Ito Orbital in the rear system. Political analysts believe that since Hudson and Winters are organizing these projects, personally, there may be repercussions for the security and stability of the systems where each has influence. Guardian artifacts collected for Aegis project. Pilot Federation alert. Aegis's anti-Xeno research program has launched the master fleet of artifacts constructed by the Guardians. Many ancient caskets, orbs, relics, tablets, totems and urns were found in the ruins of the mysterious civilization that collapsed over 1 million years ago. Pilots then transported these to the Delphi system for analysis. Professor Albert Tesreau made this announcement. Everyone at Aegis is thankful for the impressive effort made by the galactic community. If we can gain new insights into Guardian technology from these samples, then funding and resources for our work may continue. Aegis
Frameshift drive charging.
has agreed to pursue the development of weaponry and defenses that might prove more effective against the Thargoids. However, as yet the research is in its early stages and there are no signs of imminent breakthroughs. Pilots who delivered Guardian artifacts can now collect their rewards from Aegis research at the Alexandria megaship in the Delphi system. Hadrian Duval, NMLA allegations. ACT has confirmed receiving evidence that NMLA attacks were orchestrated by Imperator Hadrian Augustus Duval, who immediately denied the claim. Landgrave Delacroix of the Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid provided details to ACT that the isolationist group Nova Imperium is at the heart of the NMLA. In response, Hadrian Duval made this
Frameshift drive charging.
statement. These accusations are completely false. Our political stance is the exact opposite of Marlinism, since we believe in restoring the Empire's traditions. Nova Imperium forces even fought against the terrorists in Madrid, as required by the Treaty of Paris. As for Lady Astrid being a top NMLA agent, my wife has been a loyal Imperial commander since she first piloted the ship. Princess Aisling Duval has publicly decried the allegation and offered support to Hadrian Duval. However, Senator Zelina Torval told the Senate, should we be surprised that an extremist organization performs extreme acts? That this arrogant boy who declares himself Imperator should turn to violent rebellion once again. Enemies of the Empire
Disengaged.
must be punished, even those with Duval blood. ACT is fully investigating the Landgrave's evidence and has asked for patience, despite urgent demands for action from the Alliance, Empire and Federation. Galactic Mysteries, the Hesperus. Francesca Wolf of the Warglass Investigations Agency examines the Hesperus megaship and the Dredger clan that caused its recent discovery. When the Adamastor derelict received a strange signal, smart money was on it originating from its sister ship, the Hesperus. Both were owned by Azimuth Biochemicals and had vanished 200 years ago. After a united effort to decode and trace the signal, independent pilots located the Hesperus in an asteroid belt around the second star of the Perseus Dark Region KCVC22 system. Like the Adamastor, it was devoid of life, but not alone. Alongside it was a dredger, whose proximity had triggered the Hesperus's mayday. This was a rare sighting of a dredger clan, one of the nomadic tribes that Gunnarsson recently discussed. The Scriveners clan was originally a fleet of research vessels for a long-forgotten academic consortium. Over centuries they became a self-sufficient society, constantly acquiring materials and information. They're not aggressive, but shun outsiders and jealously guard their knowledge core. I'm fascinated by mentions of research sergeants and lector generals, suggesting their culture is a merger of scholastic and military. With the Hesperus claimed as salvage by the Scriveners and its drive stripped, all chance of learning more was lost. Luckily, 4 encoded data files had resisted upload, and a gap in the dredger's antiquated firewalls allowed pilots to hack them. The decrypted logs have now been preserved for posterity in a nearby tourist beacon. They tell a disturbing story of corporate rivalry, murder and revenge, but also leave many unanswered questions. We know that survivors abandoned ship to continue searching for alien artifacts. Did they all die in space, or did they find something? What did Azimuth's probes detect back in 3113? And who the hell is Salvation, the shadowy figure who contacted pilots to find the Hesperus? Neo-Marlinists expose Hadrian Duval as NMLA leader. Imperator Hadrian Augustus Duval of Nova Imperium is the mastermind behind the NMLA, according to classified information leaked from within ACT. Independent journalist Flint Firemaker Lafos published the on the Rewired network. Hadrian Duval, the illegitimate embarrassment of the imperial family, won a secret terror.
Tulasi, Tango, Hotel Echo. The Federation welcomes you, Commander. We'd be happy to serve you at this port.
Nemesis. That's the story being told by survivors from the Neo-Marlinist Order of
Flight assist off.
Madrid,
Flight assist on.
who gave up their secrets to save their own skins. According to my source, Landgrave Delacroix confessed to ACT that his faction transported enzyme bombs and Nova Imperium assassins to their targets on the direct orders of Hadrian Duval, who promised rewards and political power in return. Delacroix also revealed that Hadrian was converted to Neo-Marlinism a year ago by his consort Astrid Minerva,
Scan detected.
a top NMLA agent. She convinced him that becoming emperor was much easier.
Shields offline. Scan detected.
Else were dead.
Access granted. Proceed to landing pad 10. You are go for automated docking. Enjoy the ride,
Hadrian's
Commander.
life last October that was faked in order to gain the imperial family's trust. Just another false flag operation, which, as we truth seekers know, can be found everywhere. As yet this information has not been verified, and its source remains anonymous. There has been no comment from either ACT or Nova Imperium.
Scan detected.
Ters claims civilian surveillance is illegal. Shadow President Felicia Winters has claimed that the Proactive Detection Bureau is unconstitutional as it violates the Federal Accord. In an address before Congress, she said,
Landing gear deployed.
"The Federation's Constitution explicitly guarantees citizens the right to data security and privacy. PDE tramples over this by raiding everyone's personal communications, casting aside decency and dignity so that algorithms can probe into every aspect of our lives. Furthermore, if ACT's hypothesis is correct and the NMLA is using..."
Docking confirmed. Securing ship. You're all checked in, Commander. Enjoy your visit.
Advanced dark comms network, then the PDB's existence is baseless and unjustifiable. Vice President Jerome Archer responded, "The Domestic Counter-Terrorism Act is emergency legislation that temporarily suspends constitutional statutes until we are satisfied that the terrorist threat has been negated." Following the PDB's success in uncovering extremist groups, we are widening the search parameters to include other related criminal activity. Opinion polls suggest that a slim majority of federal citizens accept that some liberties must be sacrificed in return for increased security. However, according to the civil rights organization Advocacy, the speed with which the PDB gained access to data hubs suggested that the infrastructure was already in place. All the government needed was an opportunity to make it legal. Aegis appeals for Guardian artifacts. Pilots Federation alert. Ancient objects left behind by the Guardians have been requested by Aegis for a new anti-Xeno research program. The Guardians were an intelligent humanoid species whose civilization collapsed over 1 million years ago, and who were engaged in hostilities with the Thargoid race. Professor Albert Tesreau, head of Aegis Research, gave this statement. At the Galactic Summit, Aegis agreed to undertake a fresh analysis of Guardian technology. The hope is that this will lead to the development of more effective defenses against the Thargoids. We therefore require new samples to compare with Ram-Task's groundbreaking work on this mysterious species. Guardian artifacts, including those previously identified as caskets, orbs, relics, tablets, totems, and urns, are needed. These can be unearthed from the ancient ruins scattered across dozens of worlds. I beseech the galactic community to support this project. It is vital that Aegis continues to receive funding, and to achieve this we must push the boundaries of our knowledge even further. Pilots are asked to deliver their shipments to Aegis Research at the Alexandria megaship in the Delphi system. Archon Delane Starport campaign concludes. Pilots Federation alert. An initiative by the Kumo Crew Syndicate to construct new starports for increasing trade has ended successfully. Pilots delivered large quantities of ceramic composites, semiconductors, polymers and water purifiers to Gabriel Enterprise in the harbor system. Bounty vouchers were also offered to protect the shipments during transit. The Kumo Council has announced that rewards for both traders and bounty hunters are now available from Gabriel Enterprise via its loyal intermediaries, the Razor Whips. Kevanor Spaceframes Limited will now fulfill its contract and construct new Orbis starports. These will be in place on the 29th of April 3307 at the following locations: Pegasi Sector PNTC 314, near the Harbor System; HIP 18390, near the California Nebula; HIP 10792, near the Sothis System; HIP 62154, in the Coalsack Nebula; EOL Pru PCKC 991, in the Colonia region. A statement from Archon Delane was published by the Pegasi Sentinel. I am pleased to see that our trade routes can now extend into fresh territories. My people will be very grateful, I'm sure. What pleases me less is the huge number of criminal scum that tried to disrupt the project. This has forced me to invent some very creative reprisals, which I look forward to inflicting shortly. Federal surveillance identifies domestic terrorists. The Proactive Detection Bureau, which monitors all civilian communications in the Federation, has detected several homegrown terrorist groups. Deputy Director Bethany Blake of the Federal Investigations Agency told the media, "Our combination of sophisticated algorithms and skilled operatives has unearthed over a dozen extremist organizations, all previously unknown. The FIA launched preemptive raids on these groups before they were able to
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
strike against civilian targets. In addition, we have arrested several thousand individuals who were conducting research into terror tactics, radical ideologies, and other suspicious subjects. The PDB will continue monitoring all comms networks and liaising with local security agencies via the Federal Justice Department." Vice President Jerome Archer hailed these results as validation of the Domestic Counter-Terrorism Act and stated that the PDB will help prevent the mass murder of federal citizens. Civil rights groups have claimed that these extremists could have been detected via conventional policing methods rather than intercepting personal messages. Independent criminologists added that the statistical likelihood of such amateur groups committing actual attacks is low.
Clear the landing pad. You may leave when ready.
Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid has been granted sanctuary in the Marlinist colonies in return for revealing the identities of the NMLA's leaders. The faction survivors arrived in the highly sector ROPV-62 system after being defeated by Imperial forces. The Marlinism Reformation Party agreed to offer political asylum, despite all three superpowers demanding the refugees' arrest. Imperial Senator Lorcan Scordato, who was visiting the colonies on a fact-finding mission, announced, "After meeting the Neo-Marlinists and the Marlinist Parliament, I have secured an agreement. The Landgrave of Madrid and his inner circle will cooperate fully with ACT to provide details on the senior leadership of the NMLA. In return, they will receive life imprisonment
Scan detected.
at a local detention facility. The Steel Majesty's population will undergo security vetting by the Marlinist Constabulary to identify extremists. The remainder will commenting that it was precisely the sort of creative solution the Emperor requires. Responses from the Alliance and Federation were mixed, but there was broad agreement that targeting the NMLA
Frameshift
was the priority. Minister Aaron White, elected leader of the Marxist Reformation Party, publicly thanked Senator Scordato for negotiating a peaceful resolution. The Adamastor Enigma. Pilots Federation alert. Commanders have reported receiving anonymous instructions regarding the 200-year-old derelict megaship Chukchin 5. A communications beacon stored on board the Adamastor began receiving and rebroadcasting
fuel scoping.
encrypted signal on the 8th
Fuel scoping complete.
of April. Efforts by authorities to trace and decipher the signal proved unsuccessful. However, a number of independent pilots claimed to have been contacted by an anonymous source who provided an access key to decode the Adamastor signal. Commander Rex Trevelyan gave this statement to Vox Galactica. Not long after arriving in the Chukchin system, my ship received a message from someone calling himself Salvation. He provided a decryption key, and when I downloaded the signal from the Adamastor, it became readable. It seems to be an automatic SOS from its sister ship, the Hesperus. I've heard that some commanders have made sense of the navigational data in the signal. It feels like pilots are being recruited for something, but who exactly are we working for? The Pilots Federation has begun an inquiry into the situation. The identity of Salvation remains unknown, but there are reports that the Adamastor signal contains data that has led to its sister ship.
you may be forced to respond to aggressive actions. For peace of mind, please don't ship weapons while inside the docking bay.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Frameshift drive charging.
Commander.
Landing gear deployed.
We extend a warm welcome to new arrivals at this facility and wish a safe journey to all departures.
Landing complete. Commence system shutdown. Welcome, Commander.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
heavy traffic in this area, Commander. Be vigilant. Authorization cleared. Proceed to landing pad 2-5. Acknowledged, Commander. Clear for assisted docking.
Scan detected. Landing gear deployed.
Unsanctioned acts of aggression will not be tolerated. Obey station law and enjoy your stay.
Neo-Marlinists seek sanctuary at Marlinist colonies. Survivors from the Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid have arrived in the Marlinist colonies, requesting political assistance.
Solid contact. You may disembark when ready. Welcome to the station, Commander.
From the Empire. The faction was recently defeated by Imperial forces in the Madrid system, after an ACT investigation confirmed that it provided logistical support for the NMLA attacks on starports. Landgrave Delacroix and his loyalists fled aboard the Steel Majesty megaship to the Hyades Sector ROPB-62 system, which is controlled by the Marlinism Reformation Party. Minister Aaron White, its elected leader, announced, "Not every individual within the Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid is an NMLA activist. We have the right to offer asylum to protect innocents from persecution, just as the Federation protected us when we were refugees. The Empire has officially demanded that the Neo-Marlinists be apprehended, with Senator Patrias claiming the Landgrave of Madrid is a traitor and a war criminal. Both the Alliance and Federation have likewise insisted on their arrest. However, Shadow President Winters reminded Congress that the Marlinist Charter grants their systems the same legal powers of asylum as the Federation. The Marlinist Parliament has declared an emergency situation. First Minister Fairfax called for a discussion of options, while Ministers Amrita Ross and Townsend Taylor urged cooperation with the Empire. Archon Delane campaign to build new starports. Pilots Federation alert. The Kumo Crew Syndicate has launched an initiative to construct up to 5 starports to stimulate galactic trade. Kevanor Spaceframes Limited, an independent construction company, has been privately contracted by the Kumo Council to build fully operational Orbis stations. These will be located in uninhabited systems close to key trading regions and areas of commercial interest. The Pegasi Sentinel newsfeed featured this statement from Archon Delane. As sovereign ruler of the Kumo nation, it's my responsibility to increase prosperity for the systems under my protection. My new starports will extend our reach and boost trading of all kinds, legitimate and otherwise. I have also placed bounties on the heads of anyone who dares to interfere with my plans. The one thing we never trade in is mercy. The Razor Whips, one of Delane's loyal factions, is organizing the campaign. It will reimburse pilots who deliver ceramic composites,
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
semiconductors, polymers and water purifiers to Gabriel Enterprise in the Hama system. The number of new starports will depend on the quantity of deliveries. The targeted locations are Pegasi Sector PNTC 314, near the Hama system, HIP 18390, near the California Nebula, HIP 10792, near the Sothis system, HIP 62154, in the Colsac Nebula, EOL Pru PCKC 991, in the Colonia region. Federal reactions to Communications Surveillance Program. There have been mixed responses to the Proactive Detection Bureau, which monitors private communications in the Federation for terrorist activity. Mainstream news feeds reported on the situation. The Federal Times. civil rights groups are united in protest against the PDB. The controversy was also seized upon by the corporatist movement that was formed by Jupiter Division supporters. Their spokesperson stated, "The government has overstepped its authority and must be replaced by direct corporate rule." Seoul Today. Has everyone already forgotten the Qingjiao station burning in the night skies above Earth? Whatever it takes to keep us safe must be done. Only people with something to hide demand secrecy. Vox Galactica. Professor Irene Ralston of Olympus Village University told us that her political history students received visits by FIA agents for researching Marlinism, despite it being on the curriculum. The Tao Sitai Journal. Corporations that incurred financial losses in the bombings have welcomed the PDB. But other businesses have submitted legal challenges, claiming a right to protect sensitive commercial information. Megacorps such as Kane Massey and Vandermeer are even threatening to withdraw political donations. Galactic Mysteries. Dredger Clans. Eric Gunnarsson of the Wall Glass Investigations Agency discusses the nomadic tribes that wander the galaxy in converted dredger megaships. It's well known that there are many traveling communities, groups of people who prefer to live on the move rather than settle anywhere. Proudly independent, they survive on the fringes of civilization and tend to avoid interacting with the authorities. Those commonly known as the Dredger clans are among the most successful. Dredger-class bulk cruisers convert both natural and man-made minerals into raw resources to sustain themselves on deep space voyages. Improved hyperdrives and fuel scooping systems made this design redundant long ago, but some were taken over by nomads and kept operational. These dredgers are now a type of generation ship. Each hosts tens of thousands of people whose cultures have evolved or devolved over decades or centuries. Some are true loners while others have formed alliances or occasionally gather to increase their gene pools. Typically, these clans act as scavengers, quickly passing through systems to steal anything not locked down.
Docking clamps retracted. You may leave when ready.
Several take what they need in more aggressive ways, such as raiding unprotected outposts. A few have even darker reputations. I remember being told as a boy, if you don't behave, the faggots take you away in your sleep and eat you up. All my childhood nightmares came surging back when I discovered there may be some truth to that story. More recently, I've heard rumors that a rarely seen Dredger clan has resurfaced. Naturally, Wolf has rushed off to find them. Knowledge of these mysterious tribes. Imperial Senator visits Marlinist colonies. Senator Lurkin Scordato has visited the Marlinist colonies on a fact-finding mission as part of the Empire's anti-terrorism operations. The Imperial Herald was permitted to publish this summary of his preliminary report. Considering their recent refugee status, the Marlinist communities are remarkably well organized. Their government works along Republican lines, but they have not abandoned imperial culture, with
Frameshift drive charging.
many feeling homesick for their original worlds. However, their situation remains precarious, with 3 of their 8 systems now under the control of external factions, without increased support. The galactic community. Further losses may be unavoidable. Regarding the NMLA, there is widespread anger that they have made all Marlinists look like monsters. Only rarely did I sense colorful approval, with the vast majority openly condemning the terrorists. The Marlinist Parliament is small but efficient, containing a spectrum of
Disengaged.
points. First Minister Fairfax is focused on cohesion and survival. Amrita Ross discussed future reintegration with the Empire, while Aaron White sees Neo-Marlinism as a valid political movement if violence can be avoided. Months ago these were ordinary Imperial citizens, and our shared history still binds us. Generally, I feel that the Marlinist colonies are closer to allies than enemies in our war against the NMLA. Neo-Marlinist faction defeated in battle. Pilots Federation alert. The Madrid system conflict has ended with the Epsilon Fornakis Empire group overcoming the Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid. This was triggered by ACT discovering that the Neo-Marlinist faction had provided transports and logistical support for the NMLA's attacks against 9 starports. The Epsilon Fornakis Empire group has thanked all pilots who contributed to its triumph. Rewards are now available at Painscott City in the Madrid system. Landgrave Arastin Delacroix, ruler of the Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid, has so far evaded capture. He managed to broadcast this message. Those brave warriors who fought for our cause can receive recompense at the Steel Majesty. One day we will slay the Duvals and bring revolution to the Empire. Inspector Mara Klatt of ACT told the media, "This is a definite victory against the NMLA. It also provides..."
Captain Pad 40. Automated approach engaged.
Incoming message.
Insight into their modus operandi, promising disenfranchised or delusional leaders, such as Landgrave Delacroix, increased status in the New Republic should they succeed. We assume they used similar third parties to support the Alliance and Federation bombings. Our agents are gathering information, but it's clear that the NMLA's network is more advanced and widespread than we first suspected. The awakening of the Adamastor. Pilots Federation alert. The Adamastor, a 200-year-old ghost ship in orbit around Chukchan 5b, has received a mysterious encrypted signal. The derelict vessel has been undergoing investigation by Alliance Salvage Guild teams since its discovery last October. They released this report. Months ago, we cut open one of the Adamastor's damaged cargo holds to find an undeployed communications beacon. We managed to power it up.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
But it contained no data and had never been used. This beacon has now automatically activated and is receiving and rebroadcasting a long-range signal. The transmission source cannot be identified, but is definitely of interstellar origin. Its encoded content has yet to be deciphered. The Adamastor vanished in 3111 after an incident that may have involved the first historical encounter with the Thargoids. It reappeared in 3306 when it entered the Chukchan system at sublight speeds on autopilot, with no sign of its crew. It was recently learned that in 3113 the Adamastor's sister ship, the Hesperus, also disappeared. Both were owned by a corporation called Azimuth Biochemicals, which was absorbed by a rival named Pharmasapien. Little is known about either company, but it is believed they were competitors in the field of xenological research. Federation begins anti-terrorist monitoring. The Proactive Detection Bureau has been set up by the Federal Intelligence Agency to scan civilian communications for signs of terrorist activity. The new department was formed following congressional approval of the Domestic
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Counter-Terrorism Act. This was drafted by Vice President Jerome Archer, who told the media, "The PDB is a vital tool to prevent further massacres on the scale we have recently witnessed. It will unearth NMLA terrorists and other dangerous activists concealed among innocent citizens and help keep our families safe." Deputy Director Bethany Blake, who has been appointed to run the Proactive Detection Bureau, explained its operations. Highly advanced algorithms will scan all data transmitted across public and private networks on a system-wide level. Any suspicious communications are redirected to a regional hub for review by trained investigators. It is important to understand that only specific activity within narrow parameters will be flagged and must pass dozens of automated checkpoints before our operatives can access it. Shadow President Winters and civil rights groups have protested that this violates long-standing privacy laws. However, President Hudson has championed the PDB as a cornerstone of the new counter-terrorism statutes. The wedding of Hadrian Duval. Imperator Hadrian Augustus Duval, leader of the isolationist group Nova Imperium, has married his consort Astrid Minerva in a closed ceremony. Commander Minerva was a young Imperial pilot who aided Nova Imperium at the Battle of Parisa in 3305 and became a loyal supporter. Her official title is now Lady Astrid Minerva Duval. Princess Aisling Duval personally attended her cousin's wedding at a secure location. She referred to it as a precious moment of joy in these bleak times. The Imperial Palace and the Senate have sent congratulatory messages, and the event was covered by mainstream media. Parisa News Network. Astrid's well-deserved rise to nobility has made her fellow Parisans very proud. Everyone at PNN is overjoyed for the happy couple. Ion Akanar. It's an insult to the noble Duval bloodline when some trigger jockey from a gutter system can sink her claws into the Emperor's own nephew. The Imperial Herald. Hadrian taking a bride at the age of 20 has surprised many. If he becomes the only Duval to produce heirs, it will place pressure on Emperor Arisa and Princess Aisling, neither of whom have consorts.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship is disengaged from landing pad. Take care when leaving
The
station.
current conflict against the neo-monarchists of Madrid. Praetor Magnus, head of security, is liaising with the IISS on anti-terrorism intelligence. Galactic Mysteries, Generation Ships. Eric Gunnarsson and Francesco Wolf investigate the abandoned relics of spacefaring communities from the early years of colonization. Generation ships are essentially mobile cities designed to carry expanding populations, and are always an impressive sight. But there's one I keep returning to, the Thetis, orbiting the Burton 6A. Listening to its logs always chills my blood. They describe how a whispered phrase from an uninhabited planet somehow caused over 17,000 people to slaughter each other. Nobody
Frameshift drive charging.
Clear of station limits. Goodbye, Commander.
mass hysteria, psychological stress from decades in space, or something else. So many visits to the Thetis. And I still can't work up the nerve to play its final log entry. I've been warned that I won't be the same afterwards. Gunnarsson. Before hyperdrives, generation ships were a viable way to colonize distant star systems. Millions of people lived out their whole lives within self-contained so their descendants might walk upon new worlds. The tragedy is that many of these pioneering megaships vanished entirely, never reaching their destinations. But some were rediscovered, usually because of listening posts intercepting their ancient broadcasts. There are various reasons why these expeditions failed. The Lazarus, now orbiting Virenir 6, suffered mechanical breakdowns, whereas the Pleione, in the Hes-Ur system, had a population that only produced male babies. Most disturbing are those where the crew descended into barbarism, like the Artemis in New Cassiopeia C1 and the Demeter in the Misuchi system. Along with Wolf's favorite, if that's the right word, these stand as horrific monuments to our darker natures. Lost Generation ships rarely carry survivors, but that was the case with the Golconda, whose people now occupy an outpost on a panic-less B3. So perhaps more living relics are still adrift in the void, waiting to complete centuries-long missions. Kumo crew starports open for business. Pilots Federation alert. 5 new starports constructed by Archon Delane's recent campaign have now become fully operational. The orbit stations, which are run by the Kumo Council faction, are listed below. Kumo City in the Pegasi Sector PNTC314 system, Hawa region. California Freeport in the HIP 18390 system, California Nebula. Crimson Exchange in the HIP 10792 system, Sothis region. Fort Xeno in the HIP 62154 system, Coalsack Nebula. Delane Terminus in the EOL Pru PCKC991 system, Colonia region. The starports will provide a full range of services, although their low populations bring concerns that they may be understaffed. Additionally, security agencies in nearby systems expressed fears that since they are operated by the Kumo Crew Syndicate, they are likely to harbor black markets and promote illegal activity. Arch Corsair Kay Valentine, a senior member of the Kumo Council, addressed this when she told the Pegasi Sentinel. These starports exist solely to encourage trade, which is the lifeblood of our galaxy. Sometimes a little lifeblood can get spilled here and there, so I'm sure our new neighbors will welcome our protection, yes? Other factions have appeared in the 5 systems, including subsidiaries of Sirius Corporation. Several news feeds have speculated about an ambiguous connection between the Syndicate and the Megacorp, whose financial support might explain how the Kumo crew managed to extend so far beyond its territory. Federal leaders launch rival data requests. Pilots Federation alert. Data delivery.
Delacey, Tango, Hotel, Echo. Federal Flight Control would like to welcome you to this facility.
Required by competing initiatives to increase or decrease civilian surveillance in Federal.
Unable. You are currently out of range. Access approved.
President
Make your way to landing pad
has asked the pilot to
Assisted docking initiated.
to making the proactive detection clearer and more effective. The PND requires access to lesser-known comms channels where terrorists and criminals lurk, supplying it with data from multiple sources. Intercepted. My duty is to help citizens preserve their constitutional right to privacy. If enough data can be gathered for baseline testing, we will distribute legal technology and techniques to secure against government intrusion. Both campaigns require deliveries of the following data types: anomalous bulk scan data, exceptional scrambled emission data, specialized legacy firmware, and unusual encrypted files. To support President Hudson, pilots should deliver data to Gresley Dock in the Nanomum system. To support Shadow President Winters, pilots should deliver data to Vito Orbital in the Rhea system. Political analysts believe that since Hudson and Winters are organizing these projects personally, there may be repercussions for the security and stability of the systems where each has influence. Guardian artifacts collected for Aegis project. Pilots Federation alert. Aegis's anti-Xeno research program has launched with the mass delivery of artifacts constructed by the Guardians. Many ancient caskets, orbs, relics, tablets, totems and urns were found in the ruins of the mysterious civilization that collapsed over 1 million years ago. Pilots then transported these to the Delphi system for analysis. Professor Albert Tesreau made this announcement. Everyone at Aegis is thankful for the impressive effort made by the galactic community. If we can gain new insights into Guardian technology from these samples, then funding and resources for our work may continue. Aegis has agreed to pursue the development of weaponry and defenses that might prove more effective against the Thargoids. However, as yet the research is in its early stages and there are no signs of
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
imminent breakthroughs. Pilots who delivered Guardian artifacts can now collect their rewards from Aegis research at the Alexandria megaship in the Delphi system. Hadrian Duval refutes NMLA allegations. ACT has confirmed receiving evidence that NMLA attacks were orchestrated by Imperator Hadrian Augustus Duval, who immediately denied the claim. Landgrave Delacroix of the Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid provided details to ACT that the isolationist group Nova Imperium is at the heart of the NMLA. In response, Hadrian Duval made this statement: "These accusations are completely false. Our political stance is the exact opposite of Marlinism, since we believe in restoring the Empire's traditions. Nova Imperium forces even fought against the terrorists in Madrid, as required by the Treaty of Paris. As for Lady Astrid being a top NMLA agent, my wife has been a loyal Imperial commander since she first piloted a ship." Princess Aisling Duval has publicly decried the allegation and offered support to Hadrian Duval. However, Senator Zemina Torbar told the Senate, "Should we be surprised that an extremist organization performs extreme acts? That this arrogant boy who declares himself Imperator should turn to violent rebellion once again. Enemies of the Empire must be punished, even those with..."
Ship release. Observe station regulations on
the
exit.
Landgrave's evidence and has asked for patience, despite urgent demands for action from the Alliance, Empire and Federation. Galactic Mysteries, the Hesperus. Francesca Wolf of the All-Glass Investigations Agency examines the Hesperus megaship and the Dredger clan that caused its recent discovery. When the Adamastor derelict received a strange signal, smart money was on it originating from its sister ship, the Hesperus. Both were owned by Azimuth Biochemicals and had vanished 200 years ago. After a united effort to decode and trace the signal, independent pilots located the Hesperus in an asteroid belt around the second star of the Perseus Dark Region KCVC-22 system. Like the Adamastor, it was devoid of life, but not alone. Alongside it was a dredger, whose proximity had triggered the Hesperus's mayday. This was a rare sighting of a dredger clan, one of the nomadic tribes that Gunnarsson recently discussed. The Scriveners clan was originally
Frameshift drive charging.
a fleet of research vessels for a long-forgotten academic consortium. Over centuries they became a self-sufficient society, constantly acquiring materials and information. They're not aggressive, but shun outsiders and jealously guard their knowledge core. I'm fascinated by mentions of research sergeants and lector generals, suggesting their culture is a merger of scholastic and military. With the Hesperus claimed as salvage by the Scriveners and drive strength.
Incoming mission critical message.
Chance of learning more.
Fuse complete.
Lost. Luckily, 4 encoded data
Complete.
files had resisted upload, and a gap in the dredger's antiquated firewalls allowed pilots to hack them. The decrypted logs have now been preserved for posterity in a nearby tourist beacon. They tell a disturbing story of corporate rivalry, murder and revenge, but also leave many unanswered questions. We know that survivors abandoned ship to continue searching for alien artifacts. Did they all die in space, or did they find something? What did Azimuth's probes detect back in 3113? And who the hell is Salvation, the shadowy figure who contacted pilots to find the Hesperus? Neo-Marlinists expose Hadrian Duval as NMLA leader. Imperator Hadrian Augustus Duval of Nova Imperium is the mastermind behind the NMLA, according to classified information leaked from within ACT. Independent journalist Flint Firemaker Lathos published the details on the Rewired network. Hadrian Duval, the illegitimate embarrassment of the imperial family, or their secret terrorist nemesis? That's the story being told by survivors from the Neo-Marlinist Order of Madrid, who gave up their secrets to save their own skins. According to my source, Landgrave Delacroix confessed to ACT that his faction transported enzyme bombs and Nova Imperium assassins to their targets on the direct orders of Hadrian Duval, who promised rewards and political power in return. Delacroix also revealed that Hadrian was converted to Neo-Marlinism a year ago.
maximum capacity. Frameshift drive charging.
reached. Welcome to the station, Commander.
This is a flight regulation announcement. Please proceed to dock on your assigned docking pad in a timely manner, and refrain from obstructing other docking areas.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
facility.
Enjoy your visit, Commander.